had a crazy idea. Take a Harbor Freight drop cloth and turn it into a hot tent. Now let's take it to 10,000 feet and see if it survives the night. While we're at it, I have a wild game dinner in mind, and I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of cool critters along the way. I'm Dane, and this is Dane Outdoors. I think this clearing here is a pretty good spot. I am aware of that tree, but I think as long as I tuck in here, even if it did fall, it would get caught by these trees, hopefully. As always, the first thing is to compact the snow where we're gonna be building. Let's find our center pole. This is our height, so I need to carry that all the way around. And I will say that this is the first time using this. This is a little tarp of my own design that I'm gonna try before it gets too warm. I don't know. It'll either be a rousing success, or a failure, and we're gonna find out together. Son of a... I sewed in a stove jack, and I think I want that right here, so we'll sort of establish that as our starting point. So I'm going to tie these off by digging a little trench, a technique I've used before, and then burying a stick, and that'll just hold it under the snow. I guess this is all part of the fine-tuning of this tarp. It was an idea I had pretty much yesterday. Listen, this isn't pee, all right? I don't know what that is. It's like plant matter, but don't think I'm digging in my own pee, okay? One of the things that I didn't do was pleat it so that it's, you know, skinnier at the top. It's just a circle, and I thought I would fold in the pleats, but that might be part of what my problem is here. Cool. Let's get in there. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty good. I can stand fully up in here, which is nice. Let's pop the stove in and take a breather. Now, this is only my first year experimenting with the little wood stoves. So I'm by no means an expert, but I think I'll put it right here, obviously angled as much away from the snow wall as possible. That is one part of the snow tent, is that part of it's pretty melty. This stove I've only used a couple times this year, and it's supposed to be mostly titanium, which I find difficult to believe, but it is pretty light. Much like the Aurora Borealis. Get it? Pretty light. This is when you wish you didn't get your hands quite so cold, because the dexterity is a little bit off. It's supposed to be a little windy, and I just realized that my sled would make a pretty good door. We'll have to put that in. I was at Harbor Freight the other day and I saw these jumbo cotton swabs, and it's not like it's better than the cotton ball petroleum jelly. Just kind of rough it up a little bit so it takes a spark a little better. And then use our not good knife to just, there we go. I can't believe how fast it heated up. Get some more firewood going and start thinking about dinner. On the menu tonight is venison, which is not unusual. I hope you're not tired of that. But I do love a venison steak, and onion gravy with some flatbread. And I guess we might as well boil some water while we have the stove going. This far into the spring, the prospect of clean snow is almost non-existent, but I just scrape away a little and we'll see what we can do to mitigate the floats. I'm pretty happy with my stove jack hole. This is like a burn-proof silicone, and you know, that was a bit of a guess, but not too much. Pretty well centered, not too much space. It's important to chop inches from your toe. That's one of the key aspects of firewooding. Obviously, don't do that. That's just a little gallows humor for you. I really am pleased with how this turned out. I mean, to think, this was a Harbor Freight painting drop cloth 48 hours ago, maybe even 24. When did I finish it? And now, it's my little hot tent. That's great. Let's, like I said, get cooking. Let's not get too proud of ourselves. There's always more to do. A little bit of bread. And instead of going with, sometimes I go with baking powder for the rise, but I decided to just go for yeast this time. So we'll get this going. Let's see here, 24, so 16 will be a cup. But do I want a cup or a half cup? I want a half cup, so 4. That's a little bit too much, but that's all right. There we go. We call that the Luke Nichols. I don't think he invented it, but he popularized it. I guess we'll put this, there we go. Generally when I make onion gravy, I use 2 onions, but I didn't really think about the size of my pan. So maybe we'll do 1 onion. Good chunk of butter. Again, always cut directly towards your fingernails. Oh yeah, that looks good. Perfect. Whoa, don't drop it. Do a little flatbread on the side here, because these onions, I'll admit, we might be going from onion gravy to just sauteed onions because I'm getting tired of waiting. That's pretty nice. Let's get our steak on. Whoops. Now, of course it goes right in the dirt. Just wipe that on some snow over here. That works pretty well. Turn on the lights. Starting to get a tiny bit dark. Not really, but I think that looks pretty good. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's almost like Chinese banh. It's a very light. That's good. Wouldn't it be crazy to still have weevils in your flour? I feel like that was just a fact of human life for a long time. Like, Start thinking about getting ourselves tucked in for the night. We'll see if we get any snow. When I was a kid, I read this book, Swallows and Amazons, where they made tents out of canvas like this, and it was waterproof as long as you didn't touch it. I don't know if that's the case here. It's definitely a snow shelter. It might want to get treated if it was gonna rain, but man, it's just holding the heat really well. Coming up on 8 o'clock, even though it's still light out. Daylight saving and just getting to be summer. Beautiful sunset, a little pink. It's gonna get dark fast though. Let's get all organized. Always a good idea to put on a pair of dry socks before you put your little doggies in the... Oh yeah. Nothing left to do but catch a couple of Z's. Pretty cozy. I'm really happy with how it turned out for, again, just a Harbor Freight drop cloth turned into a hybrid igloo hot tent. Dinner was good. Very thankful. All right. Well, I'll see you in the morning. That was pretty comfortable. The wind picked up a little, but it really doesn't rustle the tent because it's all made of cotton. And, yeah, I guess we'll start the day, eh? It's always really hard to start the day from a very comfortable sleeping bag. All right, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee before we get on our way, but I'm still gonna put away my sleeping bag before I even start messing around with the stove. Let's have a look outside while that boils. Isn't that a nice morning? I remember when I was a kid, little kid. My granny said a watch pot never boils. And I took her literally. I was like, oh wow, that's a crazy quirk of physics that a watch pot never boils. You know, I don't think she was being malicious. But for a few months there, I do wish this one would boil. Well, we should probably start thinking about taking this bad boy down while we have our coffee, huh? Might not be easy up, but it's pretty easy down, which is kind of nice. It's a really beautiful morning. Really clear. And that tree didn't fall on me. It was only a medium concern. That'll about do it for this one. That was pretty fun taking a drop cloth and making it into a half hot tent, half igloo thing. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. Free for you, great for me. Thanks for watching. Look at that guy. I don't know, I'm starting to think maybe he is alright and just habituated to humans because he's like looking around at the snow like he's listening for rodents. Yeah, he just got something. What a cool little guy.